It's scary. And I'm so, so sorry. If you're here today, maybe you're interested in learning a little bit more about Amazing Talker and how that might be different from where you have been teaching, what you've been used to. And so I want to answer all of those questions. The question that is probably at the forefront of your mind right now is money. How much can I make? How quickly can I make it? How long will it take me to get the students that I need? All of those things are kind of interconnected. Students at Amazing Talker come in all shapes and sizes, all levels and abilities, in all countries around the world. However, 85% of the students are in Asia, not mainland China per se. Most of my students are in Taiwan and Hong Kong. I do have one that's in Macau, but I have taught students in Japan. I've taught a student in Australia. I have had handfuls of students who live in the United States. Right now, I'm only teaching 2 that live in the US. But I have had up to 10 probably students who were in the United States while they were taking classes with me. So there are a variety of students here at Amazing Talker, and your price and your hours that you have available are going to play into what students find you and try your classes. So when a student is looking for a teacher, they can click here in the upper left-hand corner, what do you want to learn? And they can select a language. So if a student clicks that they want to learn English, they can then see the teacher wall. And this is what that looks like. You can see that there's a profile picture, there's a little flag, there's the teacher's name or whatever they list in their name section. You can see how many reviews they have, and then you can see a little introduction that they wrote about themselves. If you click Learn More, you can also see the most helpful review that this teacher has gotten. And then you can see their prices, $3 for a trial class. That is pretty standard for a new teacher on the platform. And then their price, $11 for 50 minutes, $17 for 50 minutes. This one's $32 for 50 minutes. You can also see over here on the right, you can see a little thumbnail for this teacher's intro video. There's also an in-class video that you may be able to select, and then you can get an idea of what their scheduling is like. There's also this AI tutor recommendation system. So maybe I'm not really sure what I want to find in a teacher, so I'm going to click Match Me with Tutors and go through this process. And they can then select the age of the student. They can select whatever type of English they want to use. Most students just click the conversational English, and then they will go on to select some days and then some times that they would prefer to take their classes. And then they will select a price. And so this is what I want to park on just a minute for you, because I want you to understand that 50% of the students who come to Amazing Talker looking for a teacher choose this price range, $11 to $15. 12% of the students choose this price range. 6% choose this one. 3% choose this one. 3% choose this one. And there's another one that's less than $10. And 3% would choose less than $10. Okay, so with this in mind, this is the best advice I can give you for setting up your profile and setting your price, is to be in this 50% range. Start out here because it puts you in front of the most number of students. If you cannot stomach charging $15 for a 50-minute class, then your next best option is going to be in this price range. And you can go almost all the way up to the top of that price range. So you can list $20 as your price here, and then 12% of the students will see you. Consider you're now cutting your odds in half of getting students quickly, cutting them in half. And then if you go even higher, you cut them in half one more time, and then there's very little chance of getting students quickly doing this. So you can start at these prices, but just keep in mind, you're going to be teaching fewer classes at the beginning. So you can either teach fewer classes and make more money for those classes, or you can teach more classes and make a little bit less for those. Now, keep in mind, the good thing about this platform, Amazing Talker, is that you are able, oh wait, I want to make sure, I want you to really track with me on this. You are able to give yourself a raise whenever you want to. Whenever you want to. There is a specific strategy on when's the best time to give yourself a raise. And if you change your prices a lot in the early days, which is a mistake that I made, it does bump you down the list of teachers on that teacher wall. So you really want to try to stick with one price for maybe 2 weeks. And if that price isn't working for you, you aren't getting the students you were hoping you could get, then maybe adjust it. If you wanted to start a little bit higher and see what happens, you can do that. And if it's moving a little too slow for you, then maybe bump down into that next lower price range and see how that works. See if that improves your matching and your booking rates. So set your prices. Trial classes, keep them very low at the beginning until you get your first 5 students, and then bump them up. So start at $3 for a trial class, get 5 students, then go to $5 for a trial class, get 5 more students, then try $8 for a trial class. So you can keep bumping those trial classes up. I wouldn't go any higher than $8 for a trial class until you're ready to stop getting new students. Like if you feel like your schedule is full and you don't necessarily want more students buying your trial classes, you're okay for that to slow down, then you can go to maybe $10 or higher if you want. The payment is made monthly, and this is why. Amazing Talker has a fee. I talk about that in this video here, so if you need to go watch that, I'm not going to go through all of it again, but they do have an 8% fee that is taken from everyone, and then there's also a 30% fee that goes down by down by 1 every time you make $100. So if your goal is to make $2,000 to $3,000 or more a month at Amazing Talker, you can easily do that, and you can get that fee down to 0. I make over $3,000 every single month. I work 25 or less hours a week, 24, 25 or fewer hours per week. The payment is made. You can choose PayPal, Payoneer, or TransferWise. If you choose PayPal, they take a percentage of your pay, and they take a big 3% of whatever your pay is. So if you're making $3,000, 3% of that is like $100 or more. So I don't use PayPal because the fees are too high. TransferWise, I've never tried, but I did hear last month maybe that there was some issues with the TransferWise payment from Amazing Talker. I use Payoneer. I've never had any problems with it. It was very easy to set up an account, and the money transfers almost instantly. So I'm always paid by the 15th of the month, the following month. So I finished teaching classes for August. We'll just go backwards. So I finished teaching my classes for July. On August 2nd, I get a notification that Amazing Talker has transferred all of my earnings into my my account. And so there's my husband laughing, playing video games. Between that time, between the 2nd and the 5th of the month, I need to go into my account and tell Amazing Talker how much I want them to transfer to my Payoneer. So I can leave some money in my Amazing Talker account if I maybe want to take some language classes myself, or I can transfer all of it into my Payoneer account. So I have to do that by the 5th of the month, tell them how much to transfer, and then by the 15th of the month, that money will be in my Payoneer account. There is a $3 charge to transfer that money from Amazing Talker to my Payoneer. So I get $3 less than I told them to send me. And then once it's in my Payoneer account, I can transfer it to my bank account. That's another $1.50 to send the money from my Payoneer to my bank. So I'm paying $4.50 in fees for transferring that money. And those are flat. So it doesn't matter how much money I move, I pay the same amount. Once you earn $2,000 in a month at Amazing Talker, you are then eligible to teach group classes. You can teach group classes of up to 6 students, and you charge per student for that group class. You can teach anything you want for those group classes. You can have a group class just occur one time, or you can do a recurring group class once or twice a week for many weeks in advance. I've done one group class. I've done a group class that lasted 10 weeks. I've done a group class that lasted 4 weeks, and that's about it. But you can adjust them however you want. You can set the time that you want your group class to last. I teach 25-minute group classes generally. Some of them I probably could go a little bit longer, but I don't. I charge for my group classes 15 minutes per child, or per student, I should say, because it doesn't have to be a child. When you create your group classes, you can determine a minimum and a maximum number of students for that class. So if you don't want more than 4 students in the class, then you can set a maximum of 4 students. If you don't want fewer than 3 students in a class, you can set a minimum of 3 students. You can set a minimum of 1 student if you want. Keep in mind, in that group class, if your minimum number of students doesn't get met more than 24 hours before the class is scheduled to begin, it'll be automatically canceled by the system, and any students who bought it will get a refund. So group classes are a great way to maximize your income once you hit that $2,000 mark. And then also, once you hit the $2,000 mark, you are eligible to become a mentor. So you would have to do a mentor training. It's a month-long training of watching videos and filling out forms and kind of learning how the system works and the algorithms and all of those things. And then you take a test on the 26th or 7th of the month. I can't remember. And if you pass that test with whatever their minimum grade requirement is, then the next month you'll be able to start building a team. Mentors earn up to 5% of what the teachers on their team make. Right, so I talked about payment, I talked about group classes, I talked about being a mentor. Referrals, that's another way to make money, is by referring other teachers to the platform. If you share your referral link and someone clicks on it and uses it to apply, and then they get hired, so they pass the interview and then they complete the training, and so that they're ready to open their slots for teaching, you will then get $10 for that person being accepted as an Amazing Talker teacher. And then if that teacher makes $100 in their first 30 days at Amazing Talker, you'll get an additional $30. Okay, and then if they make $600 in their first 90 days at Amazing Talker, then you'll get $90 too. So it's 10, 30, and 90, so a total of $130 maximum. If you have made more than $1,500 in a month, you are then able to do interviews. There's no training, there's no requirements for doing interviews. If you are able to do interviews and someone uses your referral link, you get the first option to interview that person at the time of this recording. This has changed a couple of times as I've been teaching here. So right now, I'm able to interview people who use my links to apply. And you could do that too. You don't get paid very much for that. You get $3 in Amazing Talker credits. So it's not even money that you can cash out. It's money that would stay that you could use to take a trial class or meet other teachers or just let it sit there. I don't know. But it's not like income, and it's only $3.